very good and happy Monday morning to everyone out there. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather forecast, courtesy of On Target. No damage reports with the rounds of showers and storms that moved through yesterday. That is the good news. Didn't have to go live. We didn't have any severe weather warnings. We're not going to go live for no reason at all. That is good news, though. Did have some very brisk winds blow through here at the cusp of 40 to 50 miles an hour across the region, but that has since exited east of the Wobbles community. Taking a look here at the latest surface map, cold fronts well east of the region. We have got this deep northwesterly flow continuing to bring in those northwest winds screaming like a banshee. We will be remaining underneath a wind advisory until noon today for gusts potentially exceeding 40 miles an hour at times. With that being said, you might catch a stray snowflake out there early this morning before we get this blanket of clouds here that's going to sweep through, opening up the door for some rays of sunshine for us to enjoy. But folks, it is going to be a far cry from a beautiful sunny day. All right, let's get over here and let's take a look across the region first and foremost, and then we'll be jumping in to those current conditions. D93 Skycam showing the clearing skies. We got a few glimpses of the stars there, some cloud cover on the right side of the Cameron lens, but that is showcasing where the clouds are attempting to move out of here. Same can be said overlooking our Morgantown Skycam. Folks, we had nearly a 20-degree drop in roughly 30 minutes whenever that cold front passed here on our Morgantown Cyclone Port network as that cold front shifted through here yesterday afternoon and evening. And speaking of the temperature drops, folks, let's take a look at our readings. Got readings all the way down between the mid and upper 20s region-wide. What you are seeing on the icons over here with the map is our current wind chills. We're blanketed down to the teens across the board, still holding right around the low 20s over in Allen County, right around the 20-degree mark as far as wind chills are concerned for our friends and neighbors over here in Logan County. But we're pretty much down to teens across the board, folks, with those brisk northwest winds howling that are currently of the magnitude of 15 up to 30 miles an hour. We're just adding insult to injury at this point, right? Kentucky weather can't make up its mind. We're going to be stuck in the deep freeze here over the next few days, and then we're going to be seeing a warm-up that's going to take back over here across the region. Let's jump over here and talk about it and break it down. First and foremost, we are discussing our wind speeds here as we work throughout the day, all right? Here we are working throughout this morning, right around the 6 to 9 a.m. hour, we're seeing another uptick in these wind speeds out here, 30 to 40 plus miles an hour at times. This will continue throughout the morning, into the noon and lunchtime hour, and then you'll see as we progress throughout the afternoon, we get the winds that will be lessening, but it's still going to be gusty out there, folks. 15 to 25 miles an hour out of the north and west. Going to keep it very raw, gelid, and blustery. I'm going to throw all the winter adjectives out there to help describe today. We work into our Tuesday. We're still going to have that northerly wind component. Winds aren't going to be nearly as strong, though. And then we'll see that try to loosen up and loosen its grip to an extent as we roll into New Year's Eve. Let's take a look at these wind chills as we work throughout the day. Right now, we're right down, and model guidance is right on par with what is unfolding in real time. As we get these winds to pick up here, folks, over the next hour or two, we're going to continue to see these wind chills drop. Some of us might even be in the single digits at times throughout this morning. We're working this afternoon. Wind chills not escaping the mid-teens. Sorry to be the messenger there, but it is what it is. Going to tank back down to right around and closing in on the single digits again on sunrise on Tuesday. With the winds relaxing, we're going to warm up here right around the freezing mark as we work into our Tuesday afternoon. Our mid and upper 20s for the most part. A few of us might scrape the freezing mark in terms of wind chills, all right, as we roll into the next to final day of 2025. Now let's back this up and let's talk about what's going to unfold. Got a few interesting things to talk about here in the long-term model guidance. We got this low that continues to wind up. Counterclockwise flow is going to continue to flow in those northwesterly winds. We get the wraparound moisture there that moves out of here. We work into our Tuesday night into Wednesday. We get a clipper system diving through Ohio. It might scrape far northern Kentucky in the process. Got another one right on its heels that'll roll through here Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. High pressure trying to nose in here out of the north and west for the first day of the new year. Looks like we'll be warming up. We'll be underneath partly to mostly sunny skies for both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, with highs holding right around the mid-40s. So condition-wise to bring in 2026, not too shabby whatsoever. Here we are rolling into the second day of the new year. We get into Friday afternoon and evening. I'm going to keep eyes on this deepening low pressure system. We got high pressure to our north. This is going to present an interesting setup because we're going to have cold air trying to infiltrate out of the north, but the warm air being drawn up by the low here across the deep south. Might have a bit of a wintry mix or maybe some hit-miss rain showers here to deal with as we roll into our Friday and then on into the start of the weekend. High pressure filters back through, and then we get into the mid and latter part of next week. We're talking about roughly a week and a half to 2 weeks out from today, and we're going to see these developing low pressure systems down here to our west. We're going to keep eyes on this because we want surface lows to track across the deep south and the Gulf to pick up enough moisture, and we need an Arctic high or a Canadian high to our north to force the cold air in. And you can see we have that area of high pressure to our north. We have the area of low pressure to our south and west. Need to keep eyes on this one. Might have some winter weather shenanigans rolling into January 7th, 8th time frame. Then we get another one right there on its heels as we roll into January 11th and 12th. With another deepening low here across the deep south. This is the setup you want, folks, if you want some winter weather here across the lower Ohio Valley. Going to be keeping eyes on this, nothing written in stone, but I like the look of this pattern here as we roll into the second and third week of January a little bit more in regards to any form of snow chances. All right, jumping over here and taking a look back at the latest in terms of our total rainfall amounts forecast over the course of the next week. With this moving out of here, folks, outside of a few flying snowflakes this morning, we're not going to have next to anything in here. Might get a few stray showers in here, maybe a bit of a wintry mix Friday into Friday night. But outside of that, folks, there's really just not too much to talk about outside of Old Man Winter making its long-awaited return. Full 6-day weather forecast, partly to mostly sunny today. Highs not escaping the lower 30s or the freezing mark. And don't forget, wind chills are going to be down in the teens for pretty much all of us throughout the entirety of today. Got the opportunity of tanking down to single digits on the wind chill front overnight. Thursday afternoon, mid-30s with a little bit less on the wind front. Winds turn out of the south throughout your New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, underneath partly to mostly sunny skies with highs holding in the mid-40s. Friday, the same song and dance with an isolated rain chance, and come Saturday, we'll be located up between the low and mid-50s. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Monday morning weather and night forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of your